Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog. Giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh, yeah. Listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. Why don't you join in? Steve Harvey. Get them on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Won't you join in with me? Come with me, help me say. You gotta turn it on, yeah, turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. I know y'all can hear me on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Turn them up, got to turn them up. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them up. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only, Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Okay. I want to share something with you that I had to come to the realization one time. And even in the reinvention of myself right now, I've had to come to that, and I want to share it with you today. Give it to you. I want to tell you about something that a lot of people do in their life. And I want you to be aware of it. Here it is. Don't get stuck on yourself. You could be wrong, you know. I said, don't get stuck on yourself. You could be wrong, you know. The reason I'm saying this is because people have a tendency to, once they make a decision about something, or once they decide to go a certain path, they go against everything. Anything anybody says, anything anybody might do, any other ruling they may come across, they shun advice. They don't listen to counsel. They just, I made the decision. I'm going to do it anyway. Don't get stuck on yourself. You could be wrong, you know. Now, here's a surefire way to tell if you're wrong. If you don't see any movement in the direction you've chosen, if you don't see anything going right in that decision, if you feel as though you're in a rut, if the wall you're climbing seems so insurmountable that you ain't even moving an inch, and every time you turn around, you keep getting knocked back down. Don't get stuck on yourself. You know, you could be wrong, you know. See, that's why it's important for people to always be open to the reinvention of yourself. You know, you cannot be afraid to reinvent yourself. In other words, you can't be afraid to change. Change is necessary when it comes to growth. There is no growth without change. The more you know, the older you look. There is no growth without change. If you're heading in a direction and ain't nothing going right in your life, could it be the wrong direction? If you're climbing and you're making no headway, could it be the wrong direction? Could you have possibly made the wrong choice? Don't get stuck on yourself because you done made the wrong stuff. It's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay to let yourself off the hook. It's even smarter sometimes to admit that you were wrong. You ever met somebody ain't ever wrong? Have you ever met somebody you talk to, they ain't ever wrong about nothing, man? It's they way or the highway. This is my way. I know people like that, stuck on them power trips and all like that. You know what I had to learn how to do? I had to learn how to let them go on them power trips. But listen to this, though. You're not taking me on that trip, though. You're going on that trip by yourself. I'm going in the right direction. I've decided to stop the way. Okay, listen to this person. I decided to stop doing business the way I was doing business. I decided to stop to allow business being done around me the way business was being done around me. You know what? You know the best decision I made was to allow for God to have some say-so and to offer me his direction. I have found him to be a better driver than anyone else I know. I have found him to know more about the man he made than anybody else who's merely associating with me. I have found it to be a fact that my maker knows more about the vehicle he created than does anybody else. If your Chevy break, don't you take it to Chevy? You don't take your Ford when it break down to a Toyota dealership. They not going to know everything that the Ford dealership would know about the vehicle. You know why? Because they're not the maker of it. So now, why you letting your life being led, controlled, and guided by somebody other than your maker? I'm just asking you to let's all take a common sense look at this. So if going to your maker is the best way, the best decision I made in my business was take over my brand myself and to allow the maker of this brand. See, without God, I'm none of this. I'm none of this. I want you to clearly understand I ain't none of this without him. I wish I could have the guts to reach back there and pat myself on the back for what I've accomplished in my life. I wish I had the guts. I wish the nerve of me, because I know for a fact that there is no way that I could have manufactured the life that I have. I could not even have thought of it. There's no way I could have told you that this was the route I was going to take and this is the outcome because of it. I had no idea, no clue. The one thing I had, though, was an unshakable faith in God. I had I just kept believing in him. I kept believing that he had something more for me. And then when I touched base with him and asked him to show me what it is, what he had for me, ta-da, the magic show began. Because you know what he did? He took all my natural abilities that he had given to me, this gift that he gave me, that he poured into me at birth, that same gift that he poured into you at birth. The moment you go to him and let him show you that gift, and then guess what? Once he takes what he naturally put in you and put his superpowers on top of that, then you have some supernatural things going on in your life. And you may not be feeling me. I'm cool with that. But I done had some supernatural things happen to me. Every day I wake up, some supernatural, the rewards of my life, the awards of my life, the accomplishments, the how I'm working, the how I manage it all that ain't nothing but God. That ain't nothing but God. You can't even explain this schedule to people. Sometimes when people ask me, Steve, how do you do it? I go, well, this is what I manage my time. Then at the end of when I get through, I say, hey, man, you know what I need to tell y'all for real? It's God. I don't really know. But I'm letting him manage me, so he handling it. He ain't going to put no more on me than I can bear. Listen to me, y'all. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. And remember this. Don't get stuck on yourself, because you could be wrong, you know. You absolutely could be wrong. If you don't tie this to your gift, you will be struggling the rest of your life.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. It's that time. It's that time. Wake up, everybody. This is the one and only, the legend, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This show right here goes out to everybody that works in the school system. The bus drivers, the school teachers, the cafeteria workers, the custodial workers, everybody that works at the school, the coaches, everybody. Big ups to everybody back at school. I'm so glad it has started. I'm so glad my kids leave every morning. Thank you, Jesus. I get my day back with my wife. I just love it so much. And they get to go learn something. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Shirley Strawberry, good morning to you.
Good morning, nephew. What's up? Happy
Carla Farrell.
day.
What's happening, nephew? What's going on?
All right. And Junior Boy in the building.
Morning, everybody. Everybody good?
Junior, let's get to it. Shirley, Tommy, where's your uncle? I know he's in Africa. Tell me.
My uncle is in Africa.
Uh-huh.
Now, I've been asking when he was going to get to Wakanda. He don't know where that's at, so.
It's an imaginary place in the movie.
It's not
No, it's
imaginary
not.
That's where
if
the
they
Black
did a
Panther
movie
lives.
on it.
Yeah.
There were people in Wakanda, Shirley. That place exists.
Oh, Wakanda forever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Junior.
You
They
can't-
had a flight to Wakanda.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid too. Okay.
That whole thing on the side of the wall that took place, you don't think that was real?
Wakanda?
It's a movie, people.
Okay. But anyway, my uncle is in, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Botswana? Am I right?
Botswana, Africa. That's right.
Botswana, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Botswana,
Botswana.
Africa. So we will be, in a minute, going live, talking to the legend, the one and
Wow.
only Mr. Steve Harvey, live in
Whoa.
Botswana, Africa.
That's exciting right there. That's exciting. I mean, really. Major.
And he's got some good information he's supposed to deliver to us, so I'm excited about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't wait to get to it. We got a big show. I mean, you heard it. Steve, live from Botswana, Africa. We're over here in America.
But
President.
when he leave Botswana, Shirley, I'm sending him to Wakanda.
There is no such thing.
Will you stop with the whole Wakanda thing? You just riding that out, huh?
All right.
Why would y'all
Steve
crush
is
my
gonna
heart
check
like
in. He's gonna check in. Tommy, you talk to him. He's getting ready to call us.
I've talked to him. He's going to call us in the next 5-6 minutes. We'll be talking to him. Actually, when we come back, we will be talking to the one and only.
All right. Well, we got
Steve
a great
Harvey.
show. Great
We
show
got an incredible
planned.
show,
Yeah,
girl.
we do.
We got an incredible show. We're going live. Dude, how many people you know go live to Botswana every day?
Not
I don't
many.
know nobody.
I don't know anyone.
I don't know nobody, but I had to look it up, see where it's at. It's at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
It's right above South Africa.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, so we got a great show planned. As I was saying, we're going to find out what our crazy president is doing. Hey, The Rock got married over the
What?
weekend. Yes. Reverend Al, have you seen his viral video? Have you seen the viral video from Reverend Al Sharpton dancing all over the place? We got a great
No.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see this.
Down
nephew.
up in Harlem.
Yeah, he can dance. He can dance. He can dance. All right, all that's coming up and really coming up. Steve Harvey live from Botswana at 32 after the hour when we come back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good
morning,
Steve.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Now, listen to me. I'm calling in from Botswana. Now,
Yeah.
yesterday, I started on my African journey. I was in Ghana, and I was broadcasting from Ghana yesterday. But
Right.
today, I'm in Botswana. All right, so here we go. So right now, it's around noon here, a little after noon in Africa, in Botswana.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're on the East Coast, I know it's 6. If you're on the West Coast, it's 6. Don't worry about it. It's 6 something. It's 12 here. All right,
Ooh, your
so
math.
I've been up, and already, because I had to get my day started early, I went in and I toured Botswana TV stations.
Really?
I toured Botswana radio stations, and I'm about to go and meet with the head of tourism. The reason I'm telling you this, and I don't know how this meeting is going to go, I have some ideas and agenda of what we'll be talking about. But one of the great things is I'm over here and was invited over here by the president to come over here to discuss bridging the gap between African Americans and Africans.
Wait a minute.
Because
Wait, say that
That's
again.
big.
Hold
That's
on,
big.
Steve.
Yeah.
Do
This
what?
is major. You're doing what?
I'm over here
Uh-huh.
as a person that they invited to help bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans, because we are the same people. See, what they try to get across to everybody, if you're from Jamaica, you're African. If you're from Haiti, you're African. If you're from St. Thomas, you're African. If you're from Cleveland, you African. If you're from Georgia, you African. You was born in L.A., you African. You have to understand the connection. And they don't want any longer to be considered two different people. And just as we fought to be called African Americans, they are over here just Africans. But they love us so much, they want the tie to be strong. And it started with the president of Ghana when he started the initiative, the 400-year return, everybody returning back to Africa after, to celebrate, well, not to celebrate, but to, so the 400 years to commemorate when the first slaves left the continent. And the mission of that whole initiative is to bring about such an awareness so that this never, ever, ever happens again. The atrocities that were perpetrated against us, for me to walk into those slave castles and those dungeons and see what they did to us, what they did to us was unthinkable. I've never seen evilness perpetrated against the people like that before, not at this level, and for this length of time. This went on for 400 years. Look, there were a lot of atrocities in this world, but I'm telling you, the one that was perpetrated against Africans lasted for 400 years. And so this can never, ever happen again. So what they want is the connection to be more genuine, more real, more permanent. They want to get people to come back and see where they're from, to feel where you're from, to come back home. This is your land, and they want you to identify with this land. So I'm over here. The tourism board I'll be meeting with. I have a meeting with the president. I've already toured the TV and the radio studios. And so now I'm going to go into this meeting, and I'm going to let you all know what we're doing over here and how we can start the initiative. But it's just been enlightening. It's powerful. It's incredible to see so many people like ourselves in powerful positions. It's just a great thing, man. It's really emotional. I'm really excited about being here.
Hey, Steve.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Do they know anything about me yet? Have you told them about Tommy?
All of that he just said.
Yeah, that's all you got.
Have I told who about Tommy?
Yeah.
The people in Africa, like prank call, do they know anything about me?
Hey, Tommy,
Huh?
have you been listening to anything I said?
Yeah, you did. I mean, you sound like we finna move over there, and that's cool, but I want them to know who I am before I get over there.
Hey, dog, this ain't about just you. I'm talking to a whole nation of people. Dog, there's a whole continent over here.
Yeah.
Right, but do the continent know your nephew?
He hasn't heard anything you said, obviously.
Wasted all your time. Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I
If
do.
you
This is
listen to
big.
anything I said,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I heard everything. I'm listening to you, but you didn't say
But
anything
Tommy-
about me and them.
But Tommy,
Wow.
Steve
Okay,
is
hey, man.
on the move right now. He is going from place to place right now.
Right, and if you finna go into a meeting, then you need to bring me up when you in the meeting.
Steve,
Right?
all right, well, I
What's
got to
so
ask you
true?
something when we come back. That nephew of yours. We're coming back. Steve's in Africa. He's in Botswana, ladies and gentlemen. All right, wow. How exciting is this? All right, nephew.
What
Run
it
that
do?
prank back. You got a prank for us coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up next, the nephew is going to run that prank back. But don't forget, Steve Harvey is standing by all morning live from Botswana, Africa. You heard me, Botswana, Africa, the motherland. We'll talk to Steve Harvey, and we'll also do some entertainment news. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is married now. Broke a lot of hearts with that. And the viral video that's taken the nation by storm, Reverend Al Sharpton dancing as he celebrates Harlem Week. That's gone viral. But the nephew, what do you have for us today as you run that prank back?
I have tow truck driver. Tow truck driver.
Why you say it like you always say?
Tow truck driver. Or I can do it, with the tow truck driver. All right, let's run it, cat dog. Tow truck driver.
And tow is T-O-W, not T-O-E.
No, it's T-O. Ain't it the toe?
Ain't nobody towing nobody big toe.
Okay, what is wrong with you?
T-O-E or T-O-W? You know what I'm talking about when I put that truck right behind it, don't you? Ain't nobody said tow foot driver. It's tow truck driver. Jeez, y'all so proper. Tow truck driver. Come on, kid.
Candyman. He done blew out the whole electrical system in the whole. Hello? Hello. I'm trying to find Candy. Who is this? This is Candyman. Okay, are you the guy with the tow truck? You the tow truck driver? Yeah, that's me. Trucking. Okay, hey man, you jump started my girl's car 3 days ago and blew the whole electrical system out, man. I did. Hold on. Let me get back in my truck. You said I did what now? You do jump people's vehicles when they got a stalled vehicle, don't you? Right, that's what I do. I jump vehicles, yes. Okay. So you actually did my girl's car about 3 days ago, man. You jump started her car, but now when you over jumped it is what you did. Okay, you done blew out the whole electrical system in the whole car, the dashboard, everything is just completely out. And they talking about this gonna be about $1,500 to get this fixed. I'm sorry, now who is this now? My name Kenneth, man. But my girl Sheila, man, you jump started, you over jumped her car. Well, just wait a minute, Kenneth. There's no such thing as over jumping a car. You can't over jump a car, man. Man, let me tell you something. Now, whoever told you that, that's just dumb. Hey, let me tell you something, man. You over jumped my girl's car. Okay, and you blew out the entire. You can't over jump a car. What do you mean? That's what you did, man. You done blew out the entire electrical system. The entire dashboard is completely dead. The people at the dealership saying it's gonna take $1,500 to get this thing back up and running. Well, you may want to take it somewhere else because they're trying to rip you off. There ain't no such thing as over jumping a car and blowing. And if she drove off that day, then she should be fine. I've jumped plenty of cars. I jump cars all day long. People always need to jump. I've never over jumped a car, blown out an electrical system. Look, you over jumped this car, okay? And that's the reason why it's completely shut down. All the fuses are blown out. Everything is completely dead. You over jumped the car. And now this is $1,500. And the reason why I'm calling you is you should be the person paying for this. No, hell no. Now that sure ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna pay for something I didn't do. You did it. You the one over jumped it, man. You over jumped the car. I don't over jump cars. Now wait a minute. Now wait just 1 minute, man. Now I'm not gonna argue with you. I jump cars all the time, and you mean to tell me I over jumped you? You're a lie. That's what you are. You know what? You're gonna get your whooped if I don't get this $1,500. I'm sorry. You said what, man? You're gonna get your whoop if I don't get this $1,500 to take care of this whole car and the whole electrical system. Well, I tell you what, I'm over here on Martin Luther King right now. Now, if you talking about whooping somebody, you bring your on over here. Now, I don't overjump no cars, and I don't owe you no money either. You owe me $1,500, you country son of a. You owe me $1,500. Son, let me tell you something. You'll be in for a long day. I will take this tow truck and ram it straight up your and I'm not playing with you. Now, I don't talk to people like this, and I sure as hell don't appreciate it when someone talks to me like that. Whooping my You got it, man. You know what? You're going to mess around and get your little tow truck towed off some. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to get your whoop in the mix of all of this, man. Let me tell you something. I need this $1,500 today or tomorrow so I can get my girl coffee. Well, I don't owe you. Where the did I jump this car off at? Because that's exactly where I'll meet you at.
You jumped my girl car off at her job. She was downtown at her job.
What street? Because I'm down there a lot.
I don't know what street it is, but she worked downtown.
See, so that's the problem. You're such a dumb You don't even know what street it's on. And you know I owe you $1,500. You are crazy as hell. I promise you that much.
I'm going to get this $1,500 out your Now, you're going to make a decision on which one you want to do. Either you're going to bring me the $1,500 today or tomorrow, or I'm going to have your whooped. You got your 5 o'clock tomorrow Eve.
Son, you ain't got to wait on tomorrow. I made my decision right now. Ain't going to happen. Ain't ever going to happen. I don't owe you. And if you can get it out of my son, you can have it. But I bet you this much, you better pack a lunch. It's going to be a long night for you, buddy.
I don't care how long it's going to be. You're going to get a $1,500 whooping. That's what you're going to get, Candy or Candy Man. You're going to pay this $1,500.
You call me what you want to call me, son, but I tell you this, after I whoop your you'll call me something else.
You country.
Listen, son, I've got to go. I got work to do. I've got somebody outside waiting on me right now to hook up their car. I ain't got time to be arguing with you, son. All right? Now, if you really want to find me, you really want to find Candyman, everybody out there knows how to find me. You understand me? So if you really want that $1,500, son, you come and get it. But I ain't got time to be sitting here arguing with you all day. I got work to do. I got to get back out of this truck.
I got one more thing I need to tell you, and I want you to put this in your mind good and strong. Are you listening?
I'm listening to you, son, as long as you ain't going to say about me giving you $1,500.
I'll tell you what, I want to tell you this. This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by another record driver named...
You know what, that son of a... that son of a... You know what? You're listening to this, because I owe you a $1,500 whooping, son.
Come on now, get a pranker some. Give the pranker some.
Play too much,
The
man.
king of pranks.
You the king.
Get the pranker some.
I got a question for you, King of Pranks. Did you just ask your uncle, because Steve is standing by in Africa, did you ask him if he could prank you? So what did he say? He's going to let you know?
He be, act like he don't hear what I'm saying, but that's all right.
He was hating.
I will prank a king in Africa. It will happen.
Steve was embarrassed / hating a little bit, wasn't he, nephew?
Hey, he will get over it, Shirley. He will.
I heard it in his voice.
I'm a king, too.
All right.
I just ain't got no country.
We'll talk more with Steve live from Botswana, Africa. Also coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment and national news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve Harvey is live from Botswana, Africa. We're going to talk to him in just a few. He's doing big things over there, trying to bring people together, which is what he does, really. We'll talk to him. Hang on, Steve. First, we have to tell you that we have a brand new family member, and what a day for this, right? From Atlantic City. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is big, too, right here. 96.1 WTTH, South Jersey's new home for what? The Steve Harvey Morning Show, baby. That's right.
South Jersey.
Yeah. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Atlantic City. Yeah.
What's up, Atlantic City?
I've been there once.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thank you.
big.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there.
Oh, I've been there, too.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So we love you. Join the family. We appreciate you and thank you. All right, let's get to it. In today's entertainment news, The Rock got married. That's right. Dwayne Johnson, the mega movie star, in all of his fineness, is now off the market, ladies.
Why you just can't say The Rock got married? You ain't got to throw fineness in there.
Because
like me and Tommy ain't fine.
The ladies know what I'm talking about. This has nothing to do with you, Junior. Nothing.
I cannot believe she gonna throw that. Okay.
Anyway, he finally exchanged vows, The Rock did, with his longtime girlfriend, Lauren Hashane, in Hawaii. The two have been together since 2007 and have 2 young daughters. The Rock also has an 18-year-old daughter with his ex-wife. And, wow. Tommy, I'm going to ask you this since you're married on the show. Any marital advice for The Rock?
Girl.
Yeah.
I tried to do it with a straight face.
What You know, hey, I can handle it. You know, I'm ready to love. I'm always ready to love. You know,
I like the way I like that segue right there.
You see that transition right there?
I like it. I like it.
What The Rock has to do, The Rock has to make sure that he puts a lot of effort in making sure that his beautiful, lovely wife is happy. You want to come home. You want to do some things for her. You want to take the load off of her sometimes. But you know what? You're a millionaire, though, Rock. She shouldn't have a load on her hands. But make sure that you are present in her life and giving her everything, giving her all her flowers right now. That's what The Rock needs to do.
And who is you?
Okay.
Who is this?
Who is this?
Yeah. Excuse me.
That's
Can you bring Tommy
That's Thomas
back?
Miles.
Oh,
that's
that's
Thomas
I'm
Miles.
shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
No, because it made sense.
Yeah.
You know, come home sometime, even though you got the money for a chef and all that. You know, come home and throw that apron on, Rock, and cook for your beautiful lady, your bride. Man, do that sometime.
This boy got a fever.
You know?
Okay, I gotta ask because it's you. When you put the apron on, what do you have underneath it? I'm just
Nothing.
Okay, see, it's Tommy. Don't be fooled.
no,
Don't let the
it's-
smooth taste fool you.
It's Tommy hiding inside of Thomas, but listen, they just got married.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know,
So happy
you
for 'em.
want that. Are the kids in the house?
Well, they're
Yeah,
two
they
young
have
daughters. Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. How old are the babies?
they're babies.
We don't
they're
know.
little. Yeah.
They babies.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to put the apron on, Carla, if we're going to have it. You know.
All right. Well, thanks for that advice. All right. Finally, listen, Reverend Al Sharpton was dancing in the streets of Harlem for Harlem Week.
Nice. It was so cute. I loved it.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
It really was cute, Rev. I didn't know he
Yeah.
had moves like that.
Yeah,
huh?
he ain't always
Yeah.
been a deacon of the cloth. though.
Okay.
He's always been a man of the cloth.
Also, we got to give a huge shout out to our home station up there in New York, 107.5 WBLS, celebrating the history, the culture, and the brilliance of all that is Harlem. All right, so as we've been mentioning all morning, Steve is live from Botswana, Africa. He's calling in to tell us what he's doing over there. It's big. Just know that it is big, okay? You're going to want to stick around and hear what he has to say live from Botswana, Africa. Before we get to Steve, we're going to go to Miss Ann.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very own Miss Ann Tripp.
Okay, wow, that's a nice introduction from far, far away. Good morning, everybody. This is Ann Tripp with the news. It took 5 years, talking about far away, but New York City Police Commissioner James O'Neill has fired Daniel Pantaleo. That's the cop involved in the chokehold death of Eric Garner. Mr. Garner was being arrested by several white officers for merely allegedly selling loosies or single cigarettes outside of a convenience store. His last words, "I can't breathe," he said 11 times, became a rallying cry of the Black Lives Movement. And despite a video of the incident and most recently a ruling by the NYPD departmental trial judge that stated Pantaleo was untruthful and should be bounced, the commissioner made it clear that he still made his decision reluctantly.
An officer's choices and actions, even made under extreme pressure, matter. It is unlikely that Mr. Garner thought he was in such poor health that a brief struggle with the police would cause his death. He should have decided against resisting arrest, but a man with a family lost his life, and that is an irreversible tragedy. And a hardworking police officer with a family, a man who took this job to do good, to make a difference in his home community, has now lost his chosen career. The unintended consequence of Mr. Garner's death must have a consequence of its own. Therefore, I agree with the Deputy Commissioner of Trials' legal findings and recommendations. It is clear that Daniel Pantaleo can no longer effectively serve as a New York City police officer.
And he loses his pension. No real surprise. Rank and file cops not happy. In fact, Union President Patrick Lynch accuses the commissioner of putting politics over his officers. The police union vowing to appeal under New York City civil service laws. The Garner family says they want all the officers involved to face charges. They're demanding to see the minutes from the Staten Island grand jury proceedings in Pantaleo's criminal case to see if any of the other cops involved lied under oath. Reverend Al Sharpton says that the community plans to lobby Albany lawmakers also to formally outlaw the chokehold.
The governor said Pantaleo should be fired. Well, if he should have been fired for chokehold, let's make a state law about chokehold, the Eric Garner law.
Eric Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, says that Pantaleo may have lost his job, but she lost her son. Meanwhile, a white man in Florida is being tried for manslaughter for shooting a young black man to death because the black man's girlfriend parked in a handicapped parking space outside of a convenience store with their kids inside the car. He went in to make a quick purchase and came out and confronted the guy because he was screaming at his girlfriend to get him away. The white man shot him to death and claimed he was standing his ground. He was indicted, though, on manslaughter. Today, by the way, is National Orangutan Day. I think that's a chimp. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning. That was for Steve over there. Okay.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I'm so excited. This is really exciting. Steve Harvey, our fearless leader, is on the phone with us live from Botswana, Africa. Whoa, that is major right there. But the reason you're on this trip, Steve, you were telling us earlier, is because you're meeting with the officials there to help bridge the gap between Africans there and African Americans here, correct?
Right, because, tourism is big over here.
Mm-hmm.
The gaming lodges are huge over here in Botswana. And it just troubles them that they don't see African Americans coming to partake in this and understand more about their culture and see the land that they're originally from. And so that's one of the initiatives, and I was asked to come over here to look at that, along with look at some of their other things that they're doing over here with Botswana television and with events and with Botswana radio and things like that. If anything I could lend to them or advise them on. But a lot of it's with the tourism board. A lot of it is looking at their auditoriums and facilities. They're just looking for ways to really grow this country and make it, just a known commodity. And they really just want African Americans to understand more about who they are. It's like 52 countries over here, 54 countries over here. It's 52 countries on the continent. It's massive, man, to really understand what's happening here. You look at America, we're talking about 35 million African Americans in the United States. 35 million. In Nigeria, it's 200 million Africans.
Woo! Wow. I gotta know this.
It's ridiculous for us not to know more about ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, Steve, let me stop you right there. I got to ask you, why you? How did they, I know we joke a lot about you being international, but how did they find you and why you to do this? This is greatness, but why you?
Well, I received an award in Dubai earlier this year, like in March or something like that. And I received this global award. It's called the Lynx Award. And they gave this Lynx Award out to the most globally recognized person in television and media. And I was voted that person. Look, I'm on radio, I'm on TV, I got social media presence. And, for a guy my age, to have a social media presence that I got is like huge,
All right, Steve, hold that thought. I hate to interrupt you because this is good, but we'll talk about this more at 34 after. I will take a short break and be right back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Steve's in Africa. He's in Botswana, ladies and gentlemen. What were you saying about that?
Over here, over in Dubai, when I received the award, I met some people from Africa, and they started saying, we have been wanting to find a way to reach you, and so we came over here to meet you. And they met, and then the next thing you know, some things happen. I get introduced through some business associates of mine, and I meet the president, and I loved him. His name is President McKenzie, and I met him, and we talked. And one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I started getting some more phone calls, and then I got this invite. I told them I was on vacation. It was ending, and they said, well, before you go home, could you come here? And then I was invited to go to the to commemorate the 400 years of us leaving our homeland, and I stopped in Ghana and went to the slave castles, which I'm going to talk about this at a later date. But it's one of the most emotional things I've ever done. But I'll cover that at another time when I get back on the air. And I got invited there, and I went there. Then I met the president of Ghana last night. When I was going to get on the plane, the president of Ghana said, I heard he's in my country. I want to meet him. So me and my wife and 3 of my kids went and met the president. I got on the plane, came to Botswana, and I started the morning off this way. So, and that's really how it started.
You friends
So you've been at meetings and stuff all day. Press
all day.
conferences
I'd have missed that.
and doing initiatives and all of this. Excuse me, Steve.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what in the world is your nephew over here talking about. Are you listening
I'm
to
saying
your
I
uncle?
missed. Boy, if man, you're doing a great thing. But if I'd have gave you a case of these prank CDs, you could have passed them out to all them kings over there. Everybody could have been.
Kings ain't got
I
time
mean,
to
the
listen
kings
to
got to
prank
laugh
phone
too.
calls.
And I mean, if we're gonna have this connection and this bridge we doing, I got to prank somebody over there.
You really
feel that you have to
I
do
feel like I should prank a king at least.
please get your nephew, Steve. I'm embarrassed.
You know what? I'm pretty sure this ain't what they had in mind.
I think you're right.
But
So what are you
what I
about to do
should
right
do.
now? What are you about to do right now, Steve? It's like 1 o'clock or what about 1:30 over there? What are you
Well,
about to do now?
I'm going in after I did the tour this morning, and I started meeting some of the top level people. So now I'm going in to meet with the ambassador of tourism, and when I come out of there, I'll give y'all a call back.
Okay.
And I'll let you know what's going on. But I'll probably be in there for an hour or so. But let me get back to y'all, and I'll give you a report what I'm doing. And we got some exciting stuff, and I think it's just going to be some great stuff for us. Because, you know, I'm always thinking about my radio audience, man, and what this could mean to you in terms of awareness and travel and things like that. And then, speaking of travel, I'm going to come back. I got to mention Sand and Soul because I got to get you all to know what we've done, how we did it, how it's turned out. I got video footage. I got everything because, you know, we had to leave the DR. So when let me do this. Let me go and see what time I got to go back in, and I might be able to join you on the next break. And let me bring you up to speed, and then I'm going to come back, and I'll tell you what I did with the ambassador.
All right, Steve.
Tell the king about the king of pranks. Tell the king about the king of pranks.
King.
All right, Steve. Thank you. This is wonderful, live from Botswana. All right, we'll talk to you a little bit later this morning. Find out what you need to know, and we'll get back. Wow, this is excellent. This is really good. Tommy, you need to be quiet. All right. Well, I mean, he's sort of telling the truth. He didn't lie. He is the king of pranks. We'll be back with the prank phone call king right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today, a special one. We're going to talk more with Steve live from Botswana, Africa. Right now, the nephew is here with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
There is weed in the church van.
What?
I'm going to say that one more time. I said there is weed in the church van.
Wow.
Let's not run over that. Let's go back to that one more time.
We don't need to go back over it.
He just likes doing
in
that part
the
of
church
it.
van.
That's how he just want to say
right?
it.
Yeah.
He just want to say it.
One more time.
I hate him.
Come on, cat dog. Let's go. Weed in the church van.
I hate you.
Hello?
I'm trying to reach Dan, brother Dan.
Hold on. Let me cut the TV down.
I'm trying to reach brother Dan.
Oh, this is
okay. Yeah, this brother Scott from the church, from Bethel Baptist.
Hello, brother.
Dan, I call you. I'm trying to get a little information about the church van. What's your schedule? You drive the church van. What's your schedule?
I drive it Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays.
Okay, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Now Sunday, what is that schedule?
Well, Sunday I usually start about 8 o'clock in the morning, probably a little earlier, depending on some of the elderly people that I had to go pick up and bring to the church. Make sure they get there okay and get situated and make sure they're on time for the service and whatnot.
Okay, and then you take them back home after service is over?
Yes, I try to get all of them back home unless they got family members or something that come up there and meet them up there and want to take them to dinner or something afterwards. But I usually get everybody back home.
Okay. Now, this past Sunday, which is part of the reason why I'm calling you. They saying that some of the church members that was on the van this Sunday, they are complaining, saying that that the church van was smelling like weed when they got on there.
Excuse me?
They say the church van was smelling like weed when they got on there, and you are the person that was driving them.
Oh no, not the van that I'm driving. I ain't smoke weed in no van.
Do you smoke weed?
No, I don't smoke weed. I mean, not currently. I mean, I have before, but I don't smoke weed now. And I wouldn't smoke weed before picking some people up to go to no church. Now, where are you getting it from? Who told you this?
Well, all I know is what's come down the pipeline is they saying that a couple of the members came complaining, saying that.
This just happened last week about this pipeline. I want to know who the pipeline is, because just last week they came at me talking about that I was using the van to go places that I wanted to go to on my personal time. Now, I don't do that. I don't do stuff like that. Now, I done had a past, I done had a history, but I don't do stuff like that, and I wouldn't smoke in no church van. So are you seriously talking?
What we trying to get to the bottom of it and see what's going on with you.
Well, which elderly person said it? Do you know which one?
I don't know.
They love me. Every Sunday, them people tell me they love me. They say I'm one of the most respectful young gentlemen they've ever met in their life. And so I really find it hard to believe that you getting these type of complaints about me.
Okay, well, one of them says smell like ooh-wee. I don't know what that means or nothing like that.
Look, brother, now, I don't know you too well, and I know you don't know me, but I've been driving this van as a point to try to change my life and where I come from. So this was something that I wanted to volunteer, even though I'm getting paid, to give my time to do this for the church. And now this is like the second instance where y'all done came at me on some stuff about like I'm trying to do something with this van. Now, why would I disrespect the church van by smoking weed in it and then letting the weed stay in there so other people could smell it?
Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go out here to the church van today. We're going to go out here today and open it up. Now, if we see any seeds or anything around the driver's seat, then we're gonna definitely have a finger pointing.
You gonna open the van up, man. I was raised in that church, man. My mama go to that church. My grandma, she go to that church. She the reason we even all at that church. And you think I'm gonna mess up their name by driving around in a van full of elderly people smoking some weed?
Then why do it smell like weed, brother Dan?
I don't know why the van smell like weed, man. Now, I don't got the answers to these questions. I'm just trying to tell you that it wasn't me.
Did you have some weed in your pocket and maybe it was just smelling?
I ain't had no weed on me. Stop trying to say like I had weed on me. And you ain't gonna give me nothing. I ain't had no weed on me, okay? Now, you ain't gonna mess up my name or my family's name in this church and disrespect us like this. Now, we've been helping this church for years, and I'm trying to tell you that I ain't riding around in no van smoking no weed with no elderly people. Did you ask any of the elderly people if they had any weed on them?
No, we didn't. No, I didn't think about no elderly people having no weed.
So you just assume it's me? What, one of them got glaucoma or something?
What? You know what? You know who I think? You know who I think the weed belong to?
Who?
I think the weed belong to nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
What the heck? Man.
Damn, you just got pranked. Oh my God. You just got pranked. What is his name? His name is brother Lawrence.
Oh my God.
Larry, they call him Larry, but his name is Lawrence.
Oh man, I know exactly. Man, tell Larry he in trouble with me. I'm gonna hit him with the van.
Oh man. Hey, I got one more thing to ask you, man. What is the baddest, and I mean the baddest, radio show in the land?
Man, Steve Harvey Morning Show, man. Y'all got me.
Man, go on rest, man. Go on and chill out the rest of the day.
I'll try, man. I know I ain't gonna smoke no weed.
And we better not find any more weed in the church van, all right?
Sounds like you got a hold to it, Pastor.
Never me. August 30th and 31st, Labor Day weekend, Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club. The nephew is there. Backed by popular demand. 2 shows Friday, 2 Saturday. There will be some blues, there will be some jazz, there will be supper, and there will be laughter. All right? Bethesda Blues and Jazz.
Church say amen.
Back by popular demand. Everybody say amen.
Amen.
Amen again.
Amen.
And amen one more time.
Amen.
All right. And then we're going to move on later where we will be visiting Greenville, North Carolina.
Well,
that would be September the 7th in the Greenville Convention Center. Anybody?
Yeah.
Is that a question?
I don't know.
With you, Pastor.
There will be comedy exploding in Greenville on September the 7th at the Greenville Convention Center. I want to thank you so kindly for those few moments. I want to preach today on... I'm sorry, I went too far.
No, go. I want to hear this sermon. What do you want to preach on, Pastor? Go ahead. I want to hear it.
Let's preach today on laughter is good for the soul.
One more time.
That laughter is good for the soul.
Yes, it is.
What school do you go to when you preach it when you come out sounding like that? Where's that
I
school?
don't know. What seminary school is that? I don't know.
What school is that? I want to take the time right now.
Yes, come on.
To talk about the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We will be talking to him again live from Bethesda. No, I'm sorry, not Bethesda. Live from Botswana. That's right.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve. Live from Botswana. So exciting. You're over there in the motherland. In case you're just joining us, Steve is doing big things. I mean, big things, Steve. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I'm over here as a part of an initiative from the country of Botswana to bring about awareness and bridge the gap between Africans and African Americans because they, as a part of the commemorative of the 400-year slave trade, they never want this to happen again. That's the main focus. This can never, ever happen again. So one of the main things they want to do is bring a closeness between us and them, which is really just us.
I like it.
We want to stop saying us and them. It's us. They made me really understand something. If you're Jamaican, you're African.
Yeah.
If you Haitian, you're African.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you're Brazil, you're African.
Wow.
Where you think that come from? And so all of us in the United States are Africans. That's why we fought so hard to be called African Americans so we can identify with our home. Now, other people get to go home to Italy and Croatia, and they get to go home to Scotland and Ireland and go back home to the UK. And that's a beautiful thing. Well, we should have that same beautiful thing. And so that's what they brought me over here to do. I'm going into some meetings later on today. I'll keep you abreast as to what I'm doing. And it's just going to be really positive for us, man. And I just wanted to call in and just let y'all know that.
I hate to cut you off, Steve, but in America, we still have to do the strawberry letter. So
we still got food.
Okay, well, hold up here. Hold up. Check this out. Check this out. Since I'm back at work, this is what I want y'all to do.
Okay.
I want you all to play, and you know what it is? I ain't even got to set it up. Play one of, I have about 300, but play one of my favorite strawberry letters just for me.
We got you. We got you. Yeah. All right. So listen, if you need some advice on relationships, on dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your strawberry letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We ready, Steve?
We ready.
All right. Let's get after
Buckle
it.
up.
She
Hold
ready.
on tight. Buckle up. Hold on tight. We got it for you. It's a strawberry letter.
Subject: thanks for having a child for my man. Dear Steve and Shirley, let's just get right to it. Here's my dilemma. I'm a 38-year-old woman, and I've never wanted to have children. 5 years ago, I was in a great relationship, and we were talking about getting married, but he wanted children, and I did not. So we mutually decided to end our relationship. We could not deny that we were still in love with each other. So 2 years after we broke up, we reconnected and have been seeing each other off and on since then. While we've been spending time together, he started a relationship with a new woman, and they had a child together, and he couldn't be happier. He has told me that he wants to marry the woman so that his child will have the kind of upbringing he had with both parents present. I truly believe now that he has the son he wanted, he and I can get back together and get married. He tells me every day that he loves me, so why wouldn't he want to marry me instead of her? If I were an evil woman, I could end it all between him and this woman by telling her that I've been with him this entire time they've been together. I have lots of damaging proof that would definitely break them up. Even though I did not want to have children, I can help him raise his son. What do you think I should do? Don't I deserve to be happy too? Well, yeah, everyone deserves to be happy, but not this way, okay? I just got to tell you that it looks like you're done. I mean, you're just the side piece in this relationship. He has moved on from you to the woman he wants to marry, and guess what? That woman is not you. He said he wanted to marry that woman and not you. You don't want to have children. He only has one child. How do you know he doesn't want to have more children? You didn't mention that in the letter, did you? You think he's one and done.
Really smart, Shirley. Really smart. I didn't see that.
Well,
Great point.
He may not. You know, he may want to have another one. And you still don't want children. So there is no future in this relationship with him. What you have with him is as good as it's going to get, with, again, you being the jump off. That's it. He told you he wanted to marry this new woman. He didn't or hasn't told you that he wanted to marry you lately, has he? So I suggest you ask, don't you deserve to be happy? What do you think you should do? Well, you need to get out of this situation because he wants to marry someone else and have you on the side, which is exactly what he's doing. Steve?
Well, when we come back, I'm going to break it down a little bit further. I would really admire the point that you made, though. This guy may want to have other children.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't see this. But when I come back, though, I'm going to tell you what's really wrong with this whole damn thing.
Bring it. Bring it.
I'm through with you.
All right, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to let him have it, too. Now, don't nobody be tight.
Okay.
All
right. Okay.
Because I see, this, thanks for having a child for my man.
Yeah.
Thanks for my child. Your man.
Not your man. Exactly, Steve. Exactly.
I don't know why you don't see that.
All right. Well, again, Steve, you're going to bring it with part 2 of your response coming up. Today's subject, thanks for having a child from my man. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. Thanks for having a child from my man.
Well, I don't have to recap it because I didn't respond to it, but I just don't. This woman had a relationship with this guy. She's 30 years old. She never wanted to have children. 5 years ago, she was in a great relationship, talking about getting married, but he wanted kids. She didn't. So y'all decided to end the relationship, but you still loved each other. So 2 years later, after y'all broke up, y'all reconnected and started seeing each other off and on since then. Well, while we've been spending time together, he started a relationship. See, while we were spending time together, he started a relationship with a new woman. That's not true. See, this is the first big lie in the letter. She thinks that for 2 years, this dude was sitting somewhere sad and upset that they had broke up and wasn't involved with nobody. So she writes in the letter, because this is a self-serving woman, while we were spending time together, he started a relationship with a new woman. No, he was in a relationship with the new woman, then y'all started spending time together. They had a child together, and he couldn't be happier. He told me he wants to marry this woman so this child can have the kind of upbringing he had with both parents present. Now, she believes that since she's got a son he wanted, they ought to be able to get back together and get married. He tells me every day he loves me. Why wouldn't he want to be with me? If I were an evil woman, I could end this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Even though I do not want to have children, I can help him raise his sons. What do you think I should do? I deserve to be happy too. You will never be happy destroying someone else's.
You're right.
Let's just start there. You're the most self-serving person I've heard from in a long time. You are, what's the word? Is narcissist?
Yeah.
Is that
She's
the
a
word?
Narcissist.
You're just like the president. It's all about you. See, so now you didn't want to have children, but you think since he has a child, you can help him raise his son. You don't even want no damn kids.
Right.
So what's going to make you the great mother all of a sudden? You still don't want kids, but now you think you're going to turn into the supermom over the woman who had the baby. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're very self-serving. You didn't want children, so you broke up. You couldn't say, you know what, we love each other enough, we should share a child. No, it's always about you. I don't want to have no kids, so we break up. 2 years later, y'all reconnect. Now, he in a relationship, you can believe that. Ain't no man sitting on the sideline 2 years trying to get over no damn body. Man. We get over women with women.
Hello. No, you got to say that again right there now.
We heard him the first.
No, say it again.
Go ahead, say it, Steve.
We get over women with women. Somebody sitting up in the house sucking their thumb because you gone. We'll do that for a little while, but we're going to take this thumb sucking and turn it into something. Now, he wants the family. She said he wants to marry this girl who had the baby because he wants the baby to have the same family he had growing up, both parents present. You don't give a damn about that. You want that to split up. Damn the baby. Again, you show exactly why you don't need children. Because you want to take this opportunity for this child to have a family structure that this man wants to create with this woman because you want to just be, so you won't break that up. So you can help raise a child that you don't even want. You don't even want kids. But so you could be happy. You want to break it up. Now you say you could break them up because you got some evidence, pictures, text, all this here. Yeah, you could do that. You could break them up. But let me ask you a question. You don't think that he'll remember that? You don't think that when y'all sitting around having a couple of arguments, you don't think that when y'all sitting up trying to make these bills work, you don't think when real life kick in, when the honeymoon section is over, you don't think he gonna remember the fact that you sent some pictures that destroyed what he really wanted to have? Now he over there with you with a baby that you don't want. You do not want children. If you don't want your own children, how the hell you supposed to want somebody else's? I'm just asking.
Thank you.
So one more time, you are the most self-serving woman. And like Shirley said, suppose this man want to have another child. You ain't it again. You're out. Then you deserve to be happy too. Well, go find you a man that don't want no kids. It's a bunch of them.
But go back to chapter 2, verse 18. We get over women.
We get over women with other women.
Man.
We don't go to therapy.
No.
We don't go up in the mountains to find ourselves.
No.
We get another one of y'all who can do the same thing y'all do, make me feel like you do, and we go to getting over it just like that.
Man.
We ain't got to soak in no tub, drink no wine, get no good book, go on a girls' trip.
Parties, no.
Well, we go to Vegas and fix this.
Hey, don't discount the soaking in the tub and all of that now. That's good stuff right there.
Totally discounted for a man. If your man need to soak in a tub to find himself,
no, we soaking with somebody.
Crying in our wine and all that, that's all good.
My partner house called me.
Soaking
It's so wrong.
He just broke up with somebody.
With candles. With candles.
Get your butt out this tub, man.
Is that your toes coming out of baby bubble?
Hey, man, I'm trying to get over something, man. Leave me alone, man.
Read and act like a lady, think like a man. Get your ass off this tub.
Man, I'm going through something, man. Leave me alone, man.
Well, dog, we're on the way to Vegas. We can help you get over it.
Go to Steve Harvey FM or check out the Strawberry Letter on podcast, on the podcast on demand, okay? Coming up at 46 after the hour, Steve's back in case you haven't noticed.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Steve Harvey live from Botswana, Africa all morning. He's over there, like we've been saying all morning, doing big things, trying to bridge the gap between Africa African Americans and Africans over there, so we can just be one big family instead of them and us. But Steve, you also have something else going on. Tell us about it, please, sir.
Well,
here's
the deal, because while you all were doing that favor for me, I was brought into a conversation with the gentleman over here, and it's just growing, man. It's really, really growing. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say it at this point, but I'm just going to say this. What's transpiring over here in Botswana right now, they have some leadership over here, man, that's really progressively thinking about really, really moving this country forward. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's not what you think it is. They have 5-star hotels over here. They have neighborhoods. They have gated communities. One of the places they wanted me to see is a golf course, this golf course gated community. It's one of several. And the whole country is only 2.5 million people. The whole country. But boy, it's vast and it's beautiful, and you got to come see it. And so that leads me up to say this right here. Now listen, I'm going to give you this website, y'all, because I got to go. But listen to this real close. Steve Harvey, sandandsoul.com. We heard you loud and clear. I know y'all didn't think we was going crazy, like we was going to stick to and just go to the DR anyway. Look, we care about your safety, your welfare as people. We pulled out. You know, we bit the bullet and we started looking for a great alternative, and we found something that's even better. So go to SteveHarveySandandSoul.com and listen to me. The Sand and Soul Festival this year is going to be out of sight. We went to Cancun.
It is.
Mexico. We're going to the all-inclusive Moon Palace Resort. We got a new location for it, but I'm telling you right now, it's actually going to be better. Now, I want y'all to come and celebrate. I would not take you to nothing that ain't right. It's Marjorie's birthday on the second day of the event. Her birthday is on the second day of the event. My wife is coming. This got to be baller. I ain't going to say this no more. This is her big birthday. My girl turns 55. If I take her on her 55th birthday, I take her to something that ain't right? You think I want to hear that? So I sent my daughter Morgan down there and her husband, and they throw these events, and they came back and they said, Dad, it's out of sight. You don't have to take my word. Go and look at the video footage of this resort, man. Just go and look at the all-inclusive Moon Palace Resort in Cancun. Go to SteveHarveySandandSoul.com. It's all on there. This is going to be the best Sand and Soul yet.
All right. We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
In trending political news, there is a petition to rename. Dang, I sound a little bit like Tommy right there. There is a petition.
Come on, Pastor.
I know, right? There's a petition to rename the street outside Trump Tower to President Barack Obama Avenue. All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Stop
Like
right
that.
there.
Where we signed up at?
Stop right there. The online petition posted on moveon.org has over 399,000. That's almost 400,000 signatures, people.
Wow.
And it has become a trending topic on social media. The main goal is to have the stretch of Fifth Avenue between 56th and 57th Streets be renamed President Barack H. Obama Avenue, thus making Trump's Midtown Manhattan office /home reside at 725 Barack H. Obama Avenue.
Yes.
The irony of it all.
All your mail got that on it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that would drive him crazy.
Every time you walk out of your door.
Yeah. Check your mail and everything. Barack Obama on all your mail.
Donald, where would you like for us to meet you at? 725 Barack H. Obama Avenue. Meet me over there.
We can't hear you. What'd you say, sir? What's the address?
725 Barack H. Obama Avenue. No!
That's the street?
Man.
One more time on the street. What? It's between what and what? What street now?
It's between 56th and 57th.
Uh-huh.
It's 725 Barack H. Obama Avenue. That's where it's at.
Wow.
I love it. Can we sign this petition?
I was
Is it
just
still
getting ready to
available?
say,
MoveOn.org.
Yeah, just go to moveon.org and place your name on the dotted line or the straight line, whatever kind of line it is. Put your name on it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many signatures do they need on the petition to get it passed, to get it through.
They're going to be 6 short. Yeah, you need to be 6 less, but we all signed it.
Yes, we're signing it today. All right?
Whatever they need, they closer.
Yeah.
Right.
All right,
We
so
know who's not signing.
I know.
Yeah.
In other related news, President Trump is sending a warning of an economic crash if he loses re-election. What? Is that a threat?
Yeah, he's using that fear tactic. That fear tactic
Yeah, it
again.
is. It is. Arguing that even voters who personally dislike him should base their ballots on the nation's strong growth and low unemployment rate. But privately, Trump is growing increasingly worried the economy won't look so good come Election Day. A lot of people are threatening a recession, saying that a recession is imminent. Yeah, the financial markets signal the possibility of a U.S. recession last week. There are concerns over Trump's plans to impose punishing tariffs on goods from China and word from the United Kingdom and Germany that their economies are shrinking. You guys hear, too, that the president is a little upset with Fox News because they put out a poll that said he's running behind his Democratic opponent.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that
So,
poll.
yeah, he's
I did.
upset. Yeah.
Yeah, he said something's going on over there.
They finally telling the truth now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
right,
probably
Tommy.
telling the truth.
But he said he was mad at everyone but who's Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, something's going on over at Fox.
Yeah.
They're doing something. Something's funny over there.
yeah, didn't he say something like, we have to get to the bottom
Yeah.
of this? We?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
work for them?
Yeah.
What is this we?
Can't
But
just-
it kind of sounded like he did when he said that, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
It's like,
it does.
what? What's happening, Mr. President?
Yeah, he
you
said,
and
I've
Fox?
never lost in a poll over there.
Yeah.
What? The numbers is the numbers.
Right. You can't predict the winner or the loser.
Right.
The poll
Yeah.
is the poll.
So is he mad at Fox News now? The only people that that media
him?
outlet that he says supports him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming to a close,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
it's coming to
Tommy.
a
That's
close.
what it is.
Wow.
Ain't nobody scared.
I mean, we have to do what we have to do. Yeah. All right. Coming up, more music, more fun from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. What a day, right? We'll be back in 20 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so today we're celebrating a lot of things, guys. Check this out. Today is National Lemonade Day. Had some lemonade just yesterday with some fresh mint in it. It was delicious. Today is National Bacon Lovers
That's
Day.
me.
If you love
That's
your
my
bacon,
wife.
it's
That's
your
me.
day.
Yeah. Shout out to Mississippi Monica.
Yes, she loves her some bacon too. And guess
Yes.
what else, guys? Today is National Radio Day.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Happy day to us, everyone who is in radio, who loves radio as much as we do. Happy National Radio Day.
Happy radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tommy and Junior, I got to ask you guys this. What do you guys love most about radio?
Go ahead, Junior. Go
Oh,
first.
okay. Yeah, no. I love coming in here and acting a fool every day. That's what I love
Because
about
it doesn't seem like
yeah,
a job,
It
right?
don't seem nothing like a job. And I don't have to dress up either. Can't see me.
We can on social media.
Yeah.
At Steve Harvey
When you
FM. We
post,
can.
baby. Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, nephew? What do you love about radio? Most.
I like the amount of people that we reach across the country and out of the country that tune in, and you. It's amazing when we go somewhere how many people really are tuned in throughout this entire the United States of America and outside of it too. People are listening.
Obviously, because your uncle is in Africa.
Yeah.
And so-
Yes.
Yeah, because of this greatness. Yep, it's working out.
Yeah. All right, more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and more of Steve coming up. We're going to go live to Botswana to talk to our very own Steve Harvey, see what he's got going on over in the motherland. Coming up at 33 after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I'm so excited. This is really exciting. Steve Harvey, our fearless leader, is on the phone with us live from Botswana, Africa. Whoa, that is major right there. But the reason you're on this trip, Steve, you were telling us earlier, is because you're meeting with the officials there to help bridge the gap between Africans there and African Americans here, correct?
Right, because, tourism is big over here.
Mm-hmm.
The gaming lodges are huge over here in Botswana. And it just troubles them that they don't see African Americans coming to partake in this and understand more about their culture and see the land that they're originally from. And so that's one of the initiatives, and I was asked to come over here to look at that, along with look at some of their other things that they're doing over here with Botswana television and with events and with Botswana radio and things like that. If anything I could lend to them or advise them on. But a lot of it's with the tourism board. A lot of it is looking at their auditoriums and facilities. They're just looking for ways to really grow this country and make it, just a known commodity. And they really just want African Americans to understand more about who they are. It's like 52 countries over here, 54 countries over here. It's 52 countries on the continent. It's massive, man, to really understand what's happening here. You look at America, we're talking about 35 million African Americans in the United States. 35 million. In Nigeria, it's 200 million Africans.
Woo! Wow. I gotta know this.
It's ridiculous for us not to know more about ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Thank you, Steve, for that update. Wow, big things going on over there in Botswana.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, we'll come back with our last break of the day and some closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey at 49 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we are, guys. Last break of the day on this Tuesday. Steve, you have some closing remarks for us. I know you do.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody of something, that God created us all for greatness. All of us were created in his likeness. All of us were created to be an example of what God can do in people's lives. We were all created for this. What happens along the way is we make decisions because God gave us the power of choice. We make decisions as people that counteract what God really intended for us. And one of the reasons we counteract what God intended for us is because the devil's main job, the opposition, is to not allow you to reach your potential. See, the devil don't ever want you to reach your potential, because then he'll have another child of God out there spreading the word and showing off and being an example of what light can do and what love can do and what the power of prayer can do. So his job is to make each and every one of us fall by the wayside. That's his constant mission in life, to make us think we're not worthy, to make us think we can't, to make us think it ain't possible, to make us look at our environment, to make us feel like, well, it's because I'm this, I can't be that. Ain't none of that true. None of that is true. I bought a book the other day by Joel Osteen because I was listening to him over the weekend, and he was talking about his new book called Next Level Thinking. And I bought the book, and because I constantly try to reinforce myself, as successful as you may think I am, I still have a ways to go. And I will always try to improve myself. And people like Joel Osteen, Bishop Jakes, Bishop Ulmer, Bishop Geddes down there in North Carolina, my boy. It's a lot. Charles Jenkins up in Chicago. It's a lot of dudes, man, that call me to make sure I'm okay. Check in on me. Tyler, check in on me. Dr. Phil, check in on me. I got a lot of people check in on me, man, make sure I'm okay. I was reading his book because I just needed some more information. And one of the things I had learned from his book, in the first chapter, the title of his chapter is Be a Barrier Breaker. Be a barrier breaker. And throughout the book, it just talks about your surroundings, your environment. That because you're from a family where ain't nobody never made it out, don't mean that you have to not be that you have to be one of those and not make it out. Because you come from a hood that don't have a whole lot of millionaires made from that hood, that don't mean that you can't be a barrier breaker and be one of the millionaires from the hood. Just because nobody on your block ever went to college don't mean you can't be the first one. Maybe nobody in your family ever went to school, you the first one. Maybe nobody in your family ever became a supervisor at a post office or the FedEx or UPS or any place else. Don't mean that you can't. You can become a barrier breaker. But see, what a lot of us do is we get so immersed in our environment that we adapt to our environment and we act like this is it. Well, if God had wanted me to be rich, I'd have been born rich. What? What did you say? I heard a guy say that. If God had wanted me to be rich, I would have been born rich. So let me ask you something, brother. All these people that have gone from poverty to riches, what was their excuse? Or what mindset did they use to become a barrier breaker, to break the barrier of poverty, to become well off? I chose to be a barrier breaker. I knew what my family was. I love my family dearly and still do. But what my family had, I didn't want. As much as I love my mother and father, what my father was and how hard I saw him work, I didn't want that. I wanted something else. Now, do I appreciate the work ethic he put in me? Most certainly do. Did I appreciate the faith and the fear of God that my mama put in me? Oh, I most certainly do. But I didn't want to be the one sitting at the church on the usher board. I didn't want that. I didn't want to work as hard as my father and make the same money as my father. I wanted to something else. I wanted to be a barrier breaker, a barrier breaker. And one of the things he talked about in the book is that so often we let our environment and how we were raised and other people's expectation of us set limits in our life. He was saying that we adapt to what's around us. So what he said in the book, I wanted to share with you all. In the book, he said that if you take an oak tree seed, the seed of an oak tree, and you plant this seed from this oak tree in a 2-foot pot, that oak tree will never become what it was created to be if you leave it in that pot. Not because there's something wrong with the seed, but because of the environment it's in. Did you hear what I just said? There is nothing wrong with you. The problem is your environment. If you stay in the environment, you'll never grow. But you can choose to become a barrier breaker and get out of any environment that you're in. You can escape poverty. You can escape the hood. You can escape bad thinking people. You can escape the dope game. You can become non-addicted to drugs. You can stop being an alcoholic. You can stop with God's help. If you take an oak tree seed and you plant it in a 2-foot pot, that tree will never become what it was created to be if you leave it in the pot. Not because there's something wrong with the seed, but because of the environment it's in. You got to change your environment. You find you got the seed. You got everything you need to grow. You did? Those are my closing remarks.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit steveharveyfm.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.